Yeah, what up, Power Up fam? What's good? What is popping, everybody in the chat? Miss Weekly, good to see you. Camden Reed, Mark, Crimson, good to see you guys in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening or morning, whichever side of the planet you're on right now. Y'all could be somewhere else, totally different than where we're at. I got to remember that, man. I was like, you know what? It might be nighttime here, but somewhere else it could be morning. You know, we have those people in here, man. We got people from Vietnam literally tuning in sometimes, man. So you just never know. Dang. Never know. We global right now. Yeah, man. How you guys feeling in the chat, man? How you guys doing? James, what's up? Good to see you, bro. Always with the Team Nutso stuff. I see you, man. OGs.
That's throwing it back.
OGs, man. Only the OGs remember that stuff, bro. That's crazy. Man, good to see you guys, man. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is the first of hopefully many live discussions that we will have here on the Power Up channel. For those of y'all who are just now tuning in and you are new to the channel and new to this community, welcome. My name is Justin, aka FOCUZD. Used to be, I used to go by Go Power Up, but all that changed a couple months ago when we rebranded and everything started morphing into something different. The whole thing started out as just a stream community, and it eventually grew and developed into something much bigger than myself, which is why I took myself away from the Power Up label of labeling my name or nickname Power Up. I was like, you know what? Power Up is kind of everybody. That's what this whole community started out as and is about. So welcome to the Power Up channel and welcome to the community. If you're new, again, my name is Justin, aka FOCUZD. I am the owner and CEO of POWERUP LLC, or Power Up if you just want to shorten it. I am a streamer and a content creator, a graphic designer, a video editor, and sometimes still a music artist, depending on where you put me. I still write every now and again.
Your boys, everything.
Your boys still got bars.
You're still in there.
You know what I mean? I literally performed the same weekend of HCS.
True.
Like,
yep.
I still have to post the footage from that. Actually, it was pretty fun. Literally Sunday morning, I'm over here rocking a stage. Pretty crazy. But it was fun.
Cool.
Because I got to represent the brand. I got to represent all of what you see here, man. All of this. I got to talk about that within my music, which was really, really fun. And I had to bring me a special guest this time. He may be new to you and some of you in the chat, but to me, this brother, I've known him for years. We've been in and out of kind of just circles we've known each other from and in, and it's been a journey, and it's been really cool to see each other way back in the day when this dude was a teenager, and he actually drummed for me at one point for a couple sessions. This dude did some stuff. He did some stuff with me. And we met a long time ago, and then I moved and he moved, and things just got crazy, and it's cool to reconnect with this guy right here, man. It's my boy Lex, and he is a player. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this in front of all of you right now. For all of you watching right now, this dude is the first official player for the Power Up Halo team. Can we get a round of applause in the chat? He is the first official player for the Power Up Halo team, and he's also on board a little more than just that. He is the Halo. Yeah, man, he's a little more in depth than just being a player. He had hit me up several times just being like, man, I want to get involved. How can I help? Man, I'm here to help. And when somebody does that, you kind of just got to be like, man, I feel bad not like helping this, like using this brother,
right
like
away, baby.
You know what I mean? He made himself available. He believed in the mission and vision of what we're doing here, which is to impact and empower people and encourage players and all of that stuff, man, and saw what we were doing here and was like, man, I want to be a part, which is really dope. So we had a couple of conversations, we had a couple talks, and it led to him becoming a Halo esports player and recruitment manager. So let's make some noise in the chat one time for Lex again, dropping bombs for this brother. Take a bow, man. You definitely deserve it. I appreciate you and everything that you have already done and the things that you've already put into this, man. Thank you for helping gather up and round up some players. And I want you to take the floor, man, and talk just a little bit more about who you are, where you're from, what are some things about you to people that don't know you. Introduce yourself more, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. Seriously, it's funny when you say that because a lot of memories come up. Just as a little insert, I remember one time me, you, and TJ were just goofing off. We were like at your family's house or something, and we like had some sort of like, not rap battle, but like we all had a pen and pad. I don't know if you remember. Oh,
no, I do.
It was a long time ago. Look, it was so funny because I have no rhyming skills at all. Like it's a total joke. But you know, it was like it's your thing, and it was also like super your thing at the time. And TJ's not bad at it at all. So I'm over here like trying to make jokes and rhyme, and it was embarrassing for me because like you're throwing bars. TJ had his own little thing. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like
he's like, I'm a drummer and a guitar player.
I'll sneak to playing the drums. Like it was funny.
That was great.
Some good times. You definitely knew the old me, and like, you know, sticking through that, and you know, giving me grace to become the new me. Like No, it was so funny. TJ had this line. I don't know why I still
TJ's in the chat right now. He just said, "I'm awful."
Right, he was like, it was some joke. It was like an NBA reference and then something else. And I was like, dang, man, like, you know the rap game, like
TJ had a couple little hot little one-liners. He had
one-liners. You know, if he could just string it together, he'd have something.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
that's great.
I appreciate that. We've got a lot of old memories, which means a lot to me because like growing up, I moved a lot because my dad was a pastor and my mom stayed home, and we just happened to like have different churches that we would go to. And I say that because I didn't have a lot of friends that I stuck with. So gaming for me was like my home. You know, you can connect with friends online and stick with them through all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I don't want to get into
that's good. That's facts.
But that was really like it for me. So I've been gaming my whole life just out of survival and fun, you know. But before I get to all that, my name is Lex. You can find me online on socials in any sort of capacity under iAmComplex or iAmcomplex.
It's right up under you on the screen right now. It's right up under you.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about it? Yeah.
Got you.
I went through that just because it was a wordplay on Lex Complex. Anyway, I'm trying to be cool.
Genius.
I'm trying to be cool out here. So
I like it.
Yeah. So, by the way, if you hear some noise in the background, there's a big storm going on. I just want to say that now. So if I cut out, it's not because I don't want to be here. There's a storm, possible tornado. I think we'll be okay, but there's just a lot of noise.
It's a good disclaimer. We need to know that.
Just letting you know now. I'm Lex. I'm actually 30 years old. Don't look like it. Right?
Yeah. I'm 35, man. So
we look
you know,
young for our age, bro.
That's a fact.
So. Anyway, I get told that a lot.
That's a fact.
I'm married. I got 2 kids, 2 boys that are 7 and 3. My oldest, Ace, he's a gamer. We actually just got him a setup right next to me for Christmas. And my 3-year-old, you know, he's typical, plays with everything, and he games some too. But I'm sure some people have opinions on that. So young.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. Gotta start them early.
Fun. Yeah. We have fun for sure. I've been married for 8 years, about to be 9, coming up in March. I met my wife in like college time, freshman year. No, yeah. In college, second year around there, and we got married pretty quick, and it's been fun. We told each other we'd want to grow up together, and it was the best decision I ever made. I grew up being a musician, as we talked about before. I did music lessons. I played in churches, and at one point, I played in bars. That was a life-changing experience for me because I grew up in a bubble. Like, it was all it's the thing, you know?
That's dope, man.
So, yeah, it was really cool. I had my involvement in, like, church leadership and stuff like that. That just happened to be my path. I don't do that anymore because my wife has launched her online health and nutrition
She's killing it. She's killing
it. One thing that helped with that, she had such a massive following online, like 65,000 followers.
Insane.
Definitely helped with the business. She started that at the beginning of this year, and we never looked back. Like, she's been killing it, and like, I am a stay-at-home dad. It's been a crazy transition, as you know.
I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And I think I'm finally understanding it. I think. But what was so cool about it was it gave me opportunity to kind of focus on myself in certain ways and have time to grow, which I'm so thankful for.
Yeah.
But also I was sitting there like, man, like I'm gaming a lot and whatnot, but I wish I could do what my passion is about, which is like competitive. So with gaming, I started out with like Smash Brothers and Madden because that was like what my family allowed. But as soon as I found Halo, I was like, dude,
hooked.
Like this is it, man. Like, you know, it was just so like arena, you versus me, like very like gritty. You know, I just loved it. Like I could go on.
Yeah.
So Halo and then Gears of War, as your big pass is in, like
yes,
I just loved it. Big Halo and Gears fan.
Yeah.
So as soon as anything with like MLG came out and all that, like I watched it. Like I was into it. Like I was invested in the players and the stories, the gameplay, the coaching aspect, the strats, like you name it. Like I was just like kind of like a student of the game.
Yeah.
But I was never able to like plug in. Like it wasn't like I didn't have enough time. Like I was working a lot, or I had young kids, you name it. And I was just like, man, like I really wish I could, but I couldn't. Well, this year with being a stay-at-home dad and working out a schedule with my wife, it was like, hey, I'm about to be a free agent. Like I want to plug in Halo Infinite drops, and I'm like, man, this is hot. So cool that Raleigh was such a massive event for HCS. Like, amazing following. Like it was awesome, And I was already like wanting to jump in before that. So I had connected with you, and easy fit because I just knew you, and we have a pretty extensive past with gaming.
Yeah, and you've been here. Let's just disclaimer.
Even before that, yeah.
Lex was involved in the POWERUP community way before Infinite came out, right? And before he even knew, before the rebrand happened, before any esports talk was here. Yeah. Lex was involved in the chats and was very involved with my content creating, streaming over on Twitch, and then my movement over to YouTube. All of that. Lex has been you've been very much involved in that, man. And I appreciate you because, and honestly, that's what led to kind of this whole path crossing and you becoming and landing the position that you have within the POWERUP core team, to be honest.
Yeah.
That showed a lot to me that you weren't just here just to get a deal on the table for you to be a player on something. You were like, man, I'm just here to support. I enjoy hanging out. This is great. My kids love to play Fortnite with your kids, and it was great. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Well, to that point, like I was enjoying the streams, and I was hanging out there, and then in my head I had a own separate thing where I was like, man, I love Halo. I don't know how much Justin does, but I'm about to put myself on the market free agent.
You've been playing. You've been playing.
Yeah. And so I just, one day we started talking, and like I was just like, I'm gonna put these two together and see what happens. And like you were all for it, and like I was all for it, and that's how that particular thing started with me being involved with POWERUP, which I'm stoked about.
Yeah, man.
Especially for branding and like the vision and like just the message, because like I'm all about that. Powering up other people and getting them to see the good and positive in them and focusing on that and chasing that is like a huge part of my own life, even without like waving the POWERUP banner. And so here we are, and I get to do that like as
while you get the game,
part of a community, doing something I love. So that's what I'm excited about. I have a great past with you, and I'm excited to be involved. I've always loved your streams, and
thank you, man.
Here we are. Like I had Ace involved. Like my 7-year-old, we were like watching your streams. Like that was our bedtime, nighttime movie before we'd go to bed. We'd be like, "You put on Justin's stream?" He's like, "Yeah, put it on."
So good, like, so good.
Can I chat with him?
Yo, let me say this real quick. In the chat, I see some questions popping up, which is great. We want to hold off on those. We're gonna save that for the end. We want to make sure we get through all of the things that me and Lex need to discuss, because that's part of the live discussion part. And then the Q&A kind of comes after, right? For the last like 10, 15 minutes or so. We'll try to squeeze that in at least for a little bit. We're trying to keep this right around an hour-long discussion. I don't want to go too far over 10 o'clock. We're going to try and keep it in there. You know what I mean? I know me and Lex both are talkers. We love to talk.
We get talking.
And we're passionate about these topics. So we very well could easily pour over into an hour and a half or 2 hours, probably 3 if we let it. But we want to try and make this happen and wrap it up fast enough, because after this, guys, if you're in the chat, you definitely going to have dibs to hop in and play some crazy after party 8s with us in some custom lobbies on Halo. And if need be, if we got more than 16 people that are trying to play, we'll wild out and just create 2 lobbies of 8s, and we'll just one squad will go with me, and the other squad's gonna go over here, and we just start scrapping it out and have some fun.
We'll have fun for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll try not to ramble.
You're good, man. No, it's good.
The point being, like, my actual first LAN with Halo ever was with you at Adam's house.
Oh, and,
yeah.
Wow.
Just to quickly inject this, like, I loved Halo so much anyway, and I was like, no lifing, playing until like 5 in the morning. But I was like college kid, like it was the life. Yeah, loved it. And so then we mentioned doing a LAN, and I was like, like entered another dimension. I was like, it's on, you
about
know?
to say, I remember doing that first. So for those of y'all who don't remember the days of LAN situations, for some of y'all younger heads, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Seba, who was on our team, from San Antonio, flew all the way from San Antonio, Texas, to come here to Raleigh to go to HCS a couple weeks ago. His first time ever getting on a flight, leaving home and coming and staying anywhere. Poor boy got homesick while he was gone, man. Lord bless him. But yo, check this out. So like when he was here, we literally had like 3 TVs hooked up in here, and like you guys can go back and watch the vlog. It's funny. And I was like, yo, what do you know about these LAN parties, bro? Because I was like, yo, this is like LAN parties, and he was like, yeah. I was like, what you know about LAN parties, bro? And because like nowadays, there's really not many like there's opportunities at like LAN tournaments, but back in the day, man, it was like when you wanted to game with your boys, you could do online, but it was another thing. But hey, Lex, bring your Xbox. I'm gonna bring mine. Everybody squat up in the house, and we're just gonna system link everything into a router, and we're just gonna go crazy all night. We used to do that so hard in college, man. Like, and that's my first experience with LAN was with the Xbox 360, and was with people in college that I worked with at Target. We would link up. Dudes would carry their TVs and their Xboxes up 3 flights of stairs to get to us, and we would literally have like a whole house packed of dudes, and like it would be hot as mess in there, bro. Super hot, super sweaty, and dudes just be talking trash all night long, like yelling across the spike, yo, get bodied by the sword. I just get him, whatever. And then, and then like, it was great. But we would order wings, we would order pizza, and we would just, man, that was the life. And so when I came back to Elizabeth City and met you, I was like, yo, I think me, Adam, and Matt, and TJ, and everybody's like, yo, like, let's do that here. And they were like, all right, let's do it. And I remember doing that, man. And I remember you coming in and being like, bro, I stayed up all night grinding for this.
Like, I was in boot camp, man. Like, I was grinding, and it was different. Like, I was like, I'm about to slay. Like, I'm going to win. Like, it was so much fun, man.
It was amazing. And so Go. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, like, that's where it started for me. Like, I don't have, like, a lot of major LANs under my belt because, like I mentioned, I've been busy with dad life and husband life and all that stuff. But now I'm at the point to where I can. And so, you know, I'm not a stranger to the competitive scene as far as, like, the history of it and, like, you know, what's happened and the strategy and playing Halo in general. Like, it's, you know, that's been my game. Like, I've been playing when it was dead. I've been playing when it's, you know, was on fire, like all of that stuff. So I really do love it. Like, I have a passion for Halo.
Heck yeah.
And so now that, like, I'm able to plug into the community and find as many cool kids and, you know, people as I can, just like trying to get together. Like, we've actually got a really great turnout so far, and I'm excited to run some games next week and find like who's willing to take it to the top, you know, and have a blast while doing that, empowering up people. And, you know, I want to find like some friends that I'm trying to like game with, and I look forward to being with them every time we do. Like, I'm not trying to just team to be like, oh yeah, he's good, but he's not the greatest person to be around. Like, I think we can find both. And, you know, I want to find that good chemistry with my boys, you know, so I'm excited about that for sure. That's
awesome, man. And that's what we're looking for, man. We're definitely looking for those types of things where we can be great players, but we want to be great people too. We don't want to just be a great player, but then act like a straight douche and a total tool and just be just an absolute toxic wasteland of a person to wait. Like, nobody wants to be around us. And we don't want that, man. We want people to be when they look at the POWERUP brand and look at the community, they're like, man, something's different about those guys, man. They're really cool. They're really good people. And when we're around them, we just get great vibes, man. They're just great people. And we just enjoy being around their team, even if, you know what I mean? Like, that to me is important. More, to be honest, more important than like, because you can teach somebody to be good at a game. Like,
sure, we can grow together.
You can grind and get better at the game, but the thing that's hard to really teach is somebody's character, right? And you can build it, and we can work on that too. But it's that is a lot harder for some people to really break certain habits or certain things like that. You can't teach all that all the time. Some of that's just stuff that, I mean, you can teach it a little bit, but it's not like the gaming side of things. Gaming things, you can you can kind of coach that and work that kind of stuff out. But
yeah,
my LAN experience, man, like outside of the college stuff, man, I got introduced to MLG through Halo because I was at my first ever big LAN tournament was in where was it? Out towards Goldsboro, out in the kind of Wayne.
Oh yeah,
it's like Wayne Community College. There was a thing called Carolina Game Summit. And they still do it now, but it's nowhere near as big now as it was then. There was thousands of people that would come to this thing, man. And I remember going to it for a Gears event. We stayed up all night practicing for this thing, and because we thought we were nice online, we thought we were going to go in there and just weigh everybody down and just destroy them. Well, we get in there and we're in line waiting to get in and get our badges and our passes and stuff. And next thing I know, I see this kid and he's wearing this shirt that has like, it looked like the MLB logo with the red, white, and blue, but it had a controller on it. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's MLG. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's Major League Gaming. And I was like, oh, I was like, is that a real thing? And he was like, yeah. And his mom was right in front of him and was like, yeah, no, I asked him, I said, what game are you here for? And he's like, I'm here for Halo. And I was like, oh, okay, dope. And he's like, his mom said that he was there he's homeschooled. They started homeschooling him. He was sponsored by Red Bull. And he was 14 years old and it was number 3 in the country for free-for-all. Halo. And I was like, huh? I was like, wait a minute. My mind started to just...
Whole new world.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know this was a thing. Then I get upstairs and we're about to play in Gears. And this is the first ever Gears. Gears had just come out. And this is 2006. And all I remember was we were sitting there looking at these teams in this packed room. No, there was no prize. There was no nothing. You didn't get anything valuable if you won. And there was teams that showed up from Florida, from Georgia, like all over. And I was like, why are y'all here? And I was like, this doesn't even make sense. I was like, y'all are not winning anything. And they were like, bro, like we're here because we're just trying to get experience and prep for MLG to pick this game up. I was like, this is the second time I've heard about this MLG thing. What is this? And I seen this one team, they had VVV on their shirt. And back then, I think VVV was a pretty big like org at the time, or a growing org. And especially in the gear scene, I think they were doing really well. And they came there and they laid everybody out, man. And I remember watching, we played our Gears match and we got destroyed. And I remember being so upset. And I walked away and was like, that is never happening again. And I'm like, I'm going to go find out more about this MLG. So that was my like learning. And then when I went and looked up MLG, the first thing I saw was competitive Halo. And I remember seeing Walshy, and I remember seeing his like MTV Cribs walkthrough. This dude had a house and he was like, yeah, this is my $150,000 check and blah, blah. I'm like, what? I was like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, first time you see it, you're just like enamored.
Bro, and so that changed my trajectory of how I played games, of what I wanted to do. And so I've always been competitive though, and that's what led me to here, man. Even with my music, when writing rhymes or lyrics and being in hip hop has always been a part of that of my life. And just one of the reasons why I got into it is competitive stuff. And so over the past couple years of me streaming, I realized, man, like I'm a competitive dude. I just need to embrace that. And I don't necessarily need to play, which I'm not playing on the Halo team, by the way. I'm not, because I know I love the game, but I know for me personally, I'm what I like to call a casual competitive shooter gamer. That's me. I play shooters. That's my love genre. I love that multiplayer experience in that field, but I'm a little too casual. I don't think I can play the competitive esports side of it, but there are people who can, and people who have that killer instinct to go in and want to do that. For me, I'm more focused on trying to build something for the gamers and involve you guys to help take your game to the next level, but also help you as a player and as a person. I want to see people grow. And that's really what this whole thing is about. And so moving into the next part of what we can talk about here, man, we're just going to go into it, man, is what are we looking for in these tryouts? Lex, what are we going to be looking for? Tryouts are next week. There's people in here right now that are like, man, I'm excited. I'm locked and loaded, which by the way, if you have not signed up Go sign up. We've already got about 30 people. 30 people signed up for tryouts next week, which is amazing for a new and beginning organization like us to do. I'm already blown away. So thank you guys who have already signed up. And for those of y'all who haven't signed up, go and do that. I'm putting the link in here. So while Lex is telling us what he's kind of going to be looking for as a player and as a kind of recruiter on the team, what are you looking for?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything, but from what I'm with right now with Infinite and the meta with it and just everything, I think most players would agree that it's all about the teamwork, and Halo has always been that way, but especially with the way that Infinite plays, like H5 was a totally different game in the sense of like the advanced movement that it had was just so quick, and you could kind of like hero certain types of, things. But with Infinite, you definitely have the potential for that, especially with all the power weapons and whatnot. But if we can get some team chemistry down, like, and just really be like, have like god tier comms, like just excellent communication, like that's going to make the biggest difference. Playing with people you like, that you have chemistry with, that you flow with well together, that you understand their movements, their positioning, when they're going to challenge, when they're not, if you want to switch with them, things like that. I'm looking for that. I think that people have said that the skill gap is shorter in this game just because of the BR and the way that it shoots, and also just general things with that. Like, I think there's absolutely room for individual skill, and obviously like the pros separate themselves on different aspects of the game, for sure. But with that being said, like, I think that a mediocre team, if you will, with great communication and great teamwork will beat all-stars who are not on the same page. Especially with the Slayer is always a different type of matchup, but with
that's only one of the 5 matchups.
Yeah, that's only one. Most of the games are going to be objective anyway, so you're going to have to pull it together that way. So I'm looking for people with, and I hate to say good vibes, but like the sort of energy where you just are pouring out nothing but like good information for the team, good vibes, and help the team win. There's always something you can be doing with comms. There's always something that you can be projecting as far as like what you're doing, what you're looking at, what you're seeing, and just giving good info while playing your part and hitting your shots where you have them. And I think stuff like that's crucial. The last thing we need is like dead comms, people who don't have the excitement to try to make plays with your teammates, and things of that nature. So I think that obviously having a great shot is super important. I think using the sandbox and being able to like utilize the sandbox and the different weapons and all that are crucial, as an individual player. But as a team, we need to work on like controlling power weapons and controlling positions together and working on setups and being aware, like having Halo sense to like know where you play your part in the setup depending on where things are going, because it's not like football or something where you just like break into a huddle and then come out and like start over. Like, this is very dynamic, plays that you have to go with, so everybody's got to kind of like fill their role when it comes. So anyway,
that's good.
All that to say, like, I'm looking for players who are like into that sort of energy, and are looking to bring others up while they do it, cheer their teammates on as they go, and like help them succeed, and we succeed as a team. So that's my vibe. I'm sure I'm missing something.
No, I think
excited, but that's where I'm at. I think that, like, for me personally, like, I have a solid shot. Like, I'm not like the greatest in the world, but I will give you like a crap ton of information over what I see, how many, like if it's a 3 versus 2, how many people are dead, how many they have up, where I'm pushing, where I'm going, what I can do with you, if I'm with you, behind you, in front of you, above you, like how I'm helping, like all that stuff is where I excel. And I would like to get other players who can work with me on that and make things happen. And I've always been a good support player for those like players out there who are just wanting to kill it, and forming around them.
Shout out to Currency.
2 versus 2, or I mean, like, if we're running in duos, if we're running like a 3 and a flank, whatever it may be, like, I like to put those together and support the players. And so that's always been my style. And, I'm excited to see like who can join in on that and, have some fun and, think the same way as me as far as like strats are concerned, and also like show me things that, I don't know, because I definitely don't know everything, and I want to work through it together. And as a stay-at-home dad, I do have opportunities to like watch film, and I'm into that sort of thing. I'm looking to improve. I'm looking to see like where we need to like work on certain individual aspects and also team aspects. So
that's good.
I'm into it. Like I've already I'm taking the same energy where I used to just watch competitive film all the time, and I want to put that into a team, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. No, that's good, man. I don't think there's much I can add on to that, because I mean, you pretty much said everything. I mean, I would kind of be looking for, but you as a player, obviously, you're definitely gonna be looking at those things, man. And I mean, I'm in the same boat. I think that obviously there is a skill. You need to be skillful. You got to have a skill palette. You got to know how to shoot the guns. You got to be able to you got to be a killer in your own right, and you got to be able to handle 1v1s and 1v2s and kind of hold down your own, because you're going to be placed in positions you're going to have to do that. But at the same time, not every team wins because of a Rambo. You know what I mean? Not everybody's winning. Like, I mean, if you go look at even Cloud9 just won HCS, but they didn't win because of just one player knocking it up. It was the whole team was doing a lot of stuff. There was multiple games where everybody was popping off on certain ends. And that's where I think really it boils down to communication, man, is key for me in this thing, man. Listening to how people are talking. But really, man, like who people vibe with, man. Listen, feel it out, man. And if you're, you know what I mean, like vibing well with somebody. And here's the thing too, we want you guys to also like keep in mind that even if you don't make the team, right? This is a community that is growing, number one. And this is what we're going to continue to hopefully do. And we want to continue to support the players and support people. And like what we want to do is that I'm gonna just say this too, and we can talk about this too, is that we're not just looking for a 4-man team. When this whole thing is, when tryouts are over and we pick the people, we're gonna end up picking 8 people total. We're gonna end up with 8. And those 8 people are on what we're calling the Halo team roster. And that so there isn't a team A or team B or anything like that. It's gonna be like, here's an 8-man roster. And for the next probably, give or take 6-8 months or whatever, we're gonna take some time to grind with that roster and interchange you guys around and let y'all get a feel for the chemistry, see where stuff goes. You know what I'm saying? And play online and compete with each other and do different stuff. That's what we're gonna see happen. And then we'll kind of migrate it into maybe which teams are performing the best, and those teams will kind of move in a different direction to compete with more serious stuff, while the other teams, the other 4 maybe, they're competing online side events and doing other things, or maybe go to the event too and just be there to rally around and be a part of the excitement with the other team, to cheer everybody on. You know what I'm saying? And but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily a worse player or just whatever. But if people are popping off, they're gonna get that shot. It's just, you know what I mean?
To that point, like with the 8-man squad, like the way I envision it is like we have a team of 4 and a team of 4, and like we see how they gel together, and it's it takes time to see how that works. I don't think it'll take 6 months to see like our perfect 4-man squad. Not saying against that, but I'm saying if there's a time where like one 4-man squad is wanting to do like an online tournament or something, and like one of them can't make it, like they get sick or something happens, or like their internet goes out from a storm or anything, we want to be able to pull from the other 4-man squad and have them come in and sub in for the tournament and vice versa, and do that, and also mix it up at times to see like who vibes well with each other. We want our competitive team to be able to support each other with that. We can have like regular scrims against each other, do film work together and different things like that. And so it's not just like a straight up like this is the team and they're the ones and this is like the benches or whatever. Like it's a little bit more dynamic than that. And eventually we do want to send like our top 4 guys to like major lands and make that happen for sure. So it's dynamic, but at the same time, we're working toward the best possible 4-man team we can get, and we want to do that with 8 people who can sub in and sub out, and you know, make it work to where we're always like being competitive as an organization. We want to hit up multiple online tournaments, you know, like every other week, weekly if we can, like depending on how the schedule goes, scrims, you know, all the time. Like we want to hit it hard, and we feel like we can do that better with 8 people. And so it's something fun that we'll be figuring out. And even the people that don't make the 8-man squad necessarily, I want them to be able to plug into the community to never have to play like matchmaking alone again, you know, or if they want to do their own scrims that are fun or, you know, sweaty or whatever. Like I want this community to be able to like come in, plug in, find somebody to play with if you want to, vibe with them, and have a good time. You know,
and you just may never know when an opportunity may arise for you if you're into this community, because just like Lex was here before things popped off for him, and then he found himself a slot, and then he got himself in position to do something like that. So if you're here now while we're at the ground level, when there's only, you know, how many people we got in the chat right now? What is it, 15? I don't know, 12? We have like 12, something like that. We had like 15 in here a minute ago, but like if we have 15 people in here, that's not that many compared to, you know, a year or two from now where we may be a couple hundred. And then how are you gonna make some noise in the middle of all that? You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a lot harder to do versus now it's way easier to build those connections, build those relationships, and do that up.
For sure.
Give me 1 second, bro. Guys, I have to hit the BRB screen. Give me 1 second.
All right.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
You good, right?
I'm good. I'm good.
On behalf of the community, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. All right. So, as we were rudely interrupted, no, I'm just kidding.
No, you're good.
Sorry about the delay, guys. We gotta try to wrap this up in maybe like 15 minutes. I don't want to take too much longer. I know we got people want to run some crazy eights with us after we get through this discussion, man. So last thing we were talking about is what we're looking forward to in the tryouts, what we're going to be looking forward to in or what we're looking for in players that'll be trying out, which, by the way, again, if you have not gone and hit the tryouts, sign up, make sure you do that. It is right there, right in the chat. Make sure you do that. Yeah, man, Cam, we're hitting them crazy eights, baby. We're going to be hitting them up. So the next couple things we're going to talk about, just real fast. We're going to try to skim through it, man. I'm going to try to get quick. The last couple things is this, man, is maybe you're asking yourself, you're new here. You're like, man, I'm showing up. I want to try out. I think everything sounds cool. But what is this organization? What is POWERUP going to do for me? What is the brand going to do for me as a player? You know what I'm saying? Well, today we have a little bit of those answers for you. All right. This is what the POWERUP organization and brand will do for you as a player if you make it onto the team. All right. First and foremost, we will guarantee some exposure to help further the viewership of the players or the player on the team, right? Players will get more, hopefully, viewership on their streams, stuff like that. We want to be able to expose, like, by shouting you out on social media, all that kind of stuff, all of our platforms. And on our website, you will have exposure there as well. We're going to have a whole thing on the website about our teams and the roster, and we'll have this individual pictures, all that kind of stuff to make it legit, right? Also, we will power up each player's social media space. That means custom social media headers, profile pictures, all of that to help make you stand out as a player and make yourself really kind of branded around and themed up with the team of POWERUP, right? You're going to have yourself a powered up looking social media image for yourself. And if you're not on social media and you are a player, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to be on Twitter. You need to be on Instagram. At least those two. At least. If you're not on TikTok or YouTube, you're missing out. All right, but those, at least Instagram and Instagram and Twitter at minimum. But I would encourage you to have a TikTok too for some of your stuff too, but because we will be posting stuff like that on there as well, right? Thirdly, all right, this is thing number 3 that the POWERUP brand and org will do for you as a player. Provide a healthy and non-toxic playing and training space for each of our players. All right, we're gonna make sure that we are doing whatever we can in our control to try and help minimize the toxicity and the level of toxicness that we allow in and come out of the player field that we cultivate here within this community. Like we said earlier, we don't want this to be a toxic space. We want this to be a place where people enjoy coming into. They feel inspired and encouraged and feel better. And like when Seba came here, man, Seba came here all the way from Texas, showed up here. And when he left, he stayed at my house. And when he left, one of the things he said, even in the interview, you can go back and watch it on the YouTube channel. We did a live little interview after HCS about it. He left here feeling more inspired. And he was like, bro, I just feel like I grew as a person after this trip. Like, I came here to play Halo, but man, I grew as a person after this weekend. In like the 3 days I've been here, I feel like I've grown more in 3 days than I have like in several years of my life. And I was just like, bro, that is why we're doing this, man, ultimately, to impact people, right? And we want our players to kind of adopt that same mindset, okay? But for you guys, that leads into a healthy and non-toxic playing and training space for you guys. Fourth, you get 15% off all future POWERUP apparel that comes to the store. And you'll probably get access to some of that stuff early before other people even get it. You will have access to get it 15% off before anyone else. All right? Which is really dope. All right? If you haven't checked out our apparel, you need to go to it. I mean, you're looking at it, some of it right here. This is not just some cheaply made hat. This joint is crispy. And you flip this mug around, it's got POWERUP logo on the back end too. It's real deal. Good stuff. Yeah, it's real deal. This is one of the shirts. Speaking of, the last thing that you'll get, starting out, we're not going to have jerseys at first, okay? Until we start really going into lands and we know we have a committed. Yo, Hazard, thank you for that subscription, bro. Thank you for getting subscribed to the channel, man, bro. Let's go. Thank you, bro. Good to see you, Hazard. Welcome. Appreciate that. If you're not subbed to the channel, make sure you at least sub, guys. Sub to the channel if you haven't subbed already. Make sure you keep the notification bell on and like the video, as every other YouTube video says on the planet. All right. But lastly, you will get one of these shirts, right? And your name will be on the back. So you'll get a shirt when you come on to the roster. You will get a shirt. Now, I know it's probably like, man, just a shirt. I want a jersey. Cool. Here's the thing about jerseys. Jerseys that we will do. Cam, thank you for being subscribed, bro. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate that, brother. The thing about jerseys is jerseys are expensive as mess to make. Especially ones we will be doing. We're going to be doing custom. Here's the thing. If you don't know anything about me, I don't like to do anything halfway. Anybody who knows me knows that I like to give everything I got to something. And if I say it, I mean it. All right. And what I'm telling you is that I want jerseys to come just like you do, but I want to make sure that our design team and what we do to these jerseys stand out and that they look amazing. But it's going to cost a little chunk of money to do that. And I want to be able to give our players those jerseys in full confidence that when I give it to them, they're not going to leave after one bad LAN event. Just saying. Because if I spend all that money on jerseys and you rock one time and then you're like, thanks for the jersey, bro, I'm out. What? I don't want that. Like, that can't happen. You know what I mean? But you know, that's what contracts are for. But anyways, No.
I will say to all this point, like, as far as like exposure for the team and all that, we've talked about this before, but with the 8-man squad, we were talking about, like, with the 4v4s against each other, like, they're going to be fun. Like, they'll be competitive as all get out, absolutely. But there will be nights where Justin will be in there, like, commentating the scrims, and we'll be able to, like, see that, and that'll be live streamed, and it'll be super fun, and, like, we can get cuts from that, and, like, content and stuff that you'd be able to share as a player. And content as a player in general is going to look as good as the POWERUP brand brings. Oh,
100%.
As you can already tell, will be great. You know, there's all kinds of different avenues where that shows up. So when we say exposure, it's not just like, oh yeah, we'll like tweet out your stream sometimes. It's like different. We're trying to build into that in a different way to where it's like you're a part of a community where we're making fun content together, having fun, getting super sweaty, and then having fun along the way. Maybe we have a sick edit for you out of it, you know, and you get to post that and be like, yo, we were scrimming so hard, I made this play, and then like, here's the edit over it, and I want you to see this, and it'll be fun.
And the thing is what, to your point, exactly that. Like, I want you to understand that if you become a player on this team, one of my biggest goals for you, me, as your org owner and the person that's the, you know what I mean, the face and the whatever of the brand, I just want to tell you face to face right now, while you look me in the eyes, I'm telling you right now, okay, that whatever you're doing as a gamer, my job, one of my jobs is one of my goals anyways, and my job is to help make sure that you understand that you are more than just, that you are valued more than just a gamer for me. I want you to realize that you have potential in yourself to be a brand. If you look at yourself as just like, think about let's just be honest, okay? let's think about pro gamers right now. We'll just name one, right? Like, we can look at Lucid, or we can look at old boy that went on Sentinels from Optic. Why did my brain just fart out? Formal. Formal is a brand in and of himself. He does not have to have Optic behind him to do well. Why? Not just because he's a great player, because he's built himself as a sort of brand in and of himself online. So I want to help other gamers not just have a team, not just have this like, oh, cool, we're on a team and blah, blah, blah. No, I want to help get you to feel, look, and be legit in every way. So whenever you go out, and if that way, if somebody from Optic shows up on our space and is like, yo, that dude Lex, that dude,
professional,
man, that looks professional, man. This stuff, they already got their stuff together. He's already making himself, he's carrying himself already as a pro athlete.
Yeah, dress for the job you want.
You dress, exactly, dress for the job you want. So it's like, you want to be a pro gamer? Well, let me help you condition and mold yourself a little bit to look and feel that. I want you to be that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Miss Weeks with a donated $5 super chat. She said, and once you are a Power Up team member, you get the community support, and this community is amazing. Hallelujah. That's a fact, Miss Weekly. Miss Weeks, thank you so much for that $5 dono and the super chat.
Man.
Thank you. That's real, man. This community is amazing, man. We're a small, it's a small community, but we have grown in heart, and just the numbers are numbers at the end of the day to me. They matter very little in comparison to the people that are behind it. I enjoy those things, man. So thank you guys, man.
And so that point about professionalism, like segueing into the next part, like that's what the org brings you. But I'm sorry, Power Up Exodus.
Yes.
Become a member.
He just
I'll
hit
go
that.
ahead and say it
I'm about to say,
for
you got.
I see your hype.
It popped over.
You, boy.
I was hyped, but you were talking, so I was like, I'm not gonna interrupt him.
I'm on this train, but yeah, no, we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
To that point, we're talking about professionalism, to where the org is gonna carry themselves in a certain way. But as that, you need to have that same energy as the player, to where you want to be that way. You want to support the brand, and you want to carry that flag, and you're going to carry yourself in that way, that where you want to be that brand, and you want to get that recognition for your plays, and you want to get that recognition for being in the org and all that. And there's so many aspects that touches being an active member in the community. Like, we want you in our Discord. We want you conversing with all the guys on the team and outside of the team. Like, we want this to be a community
make
thing.
yourself active in these moments, man, because truth be told, man, we're gonna do more than just go to LAN events. I want us, no matter where you're at, right? Like, we want to have Power Up fam meetups. We did one last year. I rented out an entire movie theater, and we went and watched Mortal Kombat the movie in a rented out theater space for our community to meet up at, and we watched it, and it was amazing. And I'm like, yo, we want to do more stuff like that. And another thing we're going to be doing right now, like, I haven't put this out officially, but I teased it the other day, but we are going to be going on the East Coast. We're already locked in for a couple dates at a couple Comic-Cons in Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina, I believe, which is crazy. So we're a brand new org, a brand new business that's launched in the gaming scene, and we're making moves like this already. You know what I'm saying? To show and build brand awareness, because I believe in this so much, man, and what this community can do and what our teams can do. And that's all that stuff I just said, to what the Power Up brand and org will do for you as a player is just a small little starting point, right? I wish I could give salaries. I wish I could do all that, but eventually
we'll get there.
We'll get there. But y'all got to rock with us, help support it, help push this up, and y'all help power up the Power Up brand so we can power up and reach other gamers and other people.
We'll grow together.
Yeah, we'll grow together, man. That's it.
Every way.
Last thing we're going to say is this. What will the players have to do? Well, maybe you're like, okay, well, that's what you guys will do for us. That's great. I'm excited. That makes me super enthused to be a part of this. Well, what do I have to do, though, for the brand? Okay? There's only 3 things I have on this list. Only 3. There was like 5 things that the org is doing for you guys, but 3 things, it's okay. And that's okay. I want us to be able to do and support. We should be supporting you guys crap ton. Like, you know what I mean? But here's what we expect kind of, and what the players to do for the brand and the org. Kind of what we already said. We're just kind of reiterate on it, is be an active member in the Power Up online community. Be active. Be active online on social media, be in the streams, interact in the chats, interact in the Discord, you know what I mean? Be on the giveaways, do stuff like that, man. Interact, man. Be active. Don't just show up just for practices and stuff like that and then be like, I have nothing to do with anything else you do, ever. It's like, come on, man. Help out. Support this, man. So being an active member in the PowerUp online community, embody and represent the PowerUp community culture by the way that you carry and present yourself online while gaming and on social media. Now, what does that mean? All right, let me break that down a little bit, because for some people, you're like, what does that mean? Like, how do I have to carry myself? What I'm saying is if you have to question it, you probably shouldn't do it. Simple. That's really what it leads down to, for the most part. If you got to kind of question it, you probably may want to not do it, right? Think about it like any other organization or a business that you're a part of, right? Like you're representing a brand. If you were working with Best Buy or you were working at Chick-fil-A, how would you represent yourself and carry yourself while on the job, right? While representing that brand. Just keeping those things in mind, man, is like, we want to be positive. We're trying to encourage people. We're trying to build each other up, you know what I mean? And power each other up. That's the whole principle behind Power Up. The Power Up whole slogan is, we want to see power yourself up, power up those around you, and go out into the world to make a difference. And ultimately, man, we want to build up great players, but even greater people. And so if anything you're saying or doing doesn't fall into that, maybe you should kind of rethink and just have a little self-control in how you say what you say. Maybe that's all it would be, right? I'm not trying to cancel you out and say you can't say this word or that word, all, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously try not to like, while we're on stream and you're playing on stream, try to watch the F-bombs, preferably.
Yeah. Ultimately, we just don't want any sort of like sour taste in someone's mouth when they see someone from the org. So if you're being that way and then somebody sees that and you're wearing the Power Up banner, it just really conflicts with what we're trying to say. We want welcoming vibes, we want good vibes, and not saying that we aren't real, because we're very real people and we want those conversations and we want to be there for you when you're struggling. But if you're just a sour apple, so to speak, and then somebody sees that, they're not going to want to be a part of the Power Up community. For you as a player, it's not going to help us build the brand to get this, the sponsorships you want as far as the business side is concerned. But also, when we're trying to help people power up their lives, and you're the first taste they get, they don't want to have the rest of the meal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a big part of what we're saying with this.
Yeah, that, and just say that at the end of the day too, like, if you're trying to be any level of pro athlete, pro gamer, professional, anything, especially when you're doing something like entertainment or like this, where you're going to be on a big stage or people are watching you, and that's just what it is. You're going to have little eyes and ears on you by default. Doesn't mean that you got to completely change up how you necessarily talk or every word that you say, but just being aware of that can help you maybe not be so over the top to where, like, parents and stuff, because that's the thing, man. Kids are the next generation. Those are the next generation of support. And at the end of the day, man, like, you got to keep in mind, like, there are kids who are going to look up to you as a pro, as a not a pro, but because right now we're not professional gamer organization, but as you grow into this, it's going to be like, yo, like, hopefully you guys are kicking butt and destroying it. And then it's like, man, there's a lot of eyes on us now. And there's a lot of kids who can look up to you and be like, man, I want to be like Lex. You know what I mean? And so I'm very big on let people look up to you and how you talk and how you treat people. And in those things, man, just do good. You know what I mean? So last thing that we ask the players to do is help spread brand awareness by sharing and reposting various brand content and posts that are made on social media platforms. And maybe your own posts. When you make posts, use the hashtag PowerUp with the lightning bolt, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. That's part of the brand. That's part of our whole entire thing. So that's it. That's all we're asking, is just to help be a part of the brand, be a part of the community, and we will support.
You love it.
I mean?
You know, like if you're in the community and like you're here and you're having a good time connecting with people, you want other people to connect with you in the community. And when they're like, "Yo, what's this all about?" Like, you're not gonna sit there and be like, "Yeah, like I'm in this org, cool." You'd be like, "Yo, come on in with me, get in this community, let's connect with others, and let's do this thing." And that's the sort of energy we need, you know, and that's what we want. That's what we want you to have. If you don't have that sort of energy to invite other people in, then there's something wrong, you know, and we want to address that with you and like help you through it, you know, it's personal or otherwise, but like, I'm excited. I want everybody to be in the Discord. I want everybody to be on games with me. I want everybody to tell me like what's going on so I can be there for them.
Yeah.
I want all that. And you know, that sort of joy and energy carries on to other people in your relationships, you know.
That's a fact.
You want other people to be a part of that. And that's ultimately what it is. That's the positive. We shoot for that goal. Now, obviously we have like rough days and all that other stuff. And,
right.
You know, we're real. Like, I'm not saying it's all sunshines and rainbows over here and whatever, but
it's
what
facts.
I am saying is that, you know, when you're excited about a community, you want other people to be a part of it, and that's just the way it is.
That's so good, man. Absolutely. Mike Fathom said it best. He just said PG-13 at most. I'm trying to manifest power up armor in Halo Infinite. Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
It would be awesome if I have a 7-year-old boy, you know, and like he's interested in what I'm doing, and I would love for him to be able to watch the videos we put out.
Right.
And it'd be like, yeah, man, this is what your dad's doing. If I have to hide that content from my own son, I'm uncomfortable with that. And so I'm not, you know, obviously we get intense and like, I'll be one of the first people to teabag somebody out 1v1.
Right. That's different.
Saying I'm better. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah. We're talking about other things.
When all you say is F words every 5 seconds, or, you know, dropping GD this or body part language and stuff like that, like, come on, man, like, we ain't got to do all that. There's really, like, come on, man, I think we can control ourselves a little bit more and be a little more upstanding, you know what I'm saying, and try not to make it to stoop to that level where we have to be like everybody else, you know what I mean? I know everybody else does it, I know everybody else can do it, and I'm not saying that you can't do that off streams and whatever, but like, man, when you're representing this brand, man, I mean, think about that. And when we're at LAN events especially, man, we're all rocking this together, and we represent something bigger than just Justin. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than Lex. This is about a mindset. This is about pushing and helping people be encouraged in something bigger than just video games, right? So that's what we're aiming to do, man. Any final thoughts as we close this out? And you guys go ahead and sound off in the chat. We're going to take 10 minutes.
Time, right?
10 minutes Q&A. While you guys are firing off questions to me and Lex, we're going to take 10 minutes to do that. Any final thoughts, Lex, that you want to add?
Oh, man, I'm excited. I think that everybody should plug into the community. I think it's, you know, oh, you're so sweet with the... Oh, my God.
Sorry, my daughter was like, she was waving at me back there, and she was like, should I come? And I'm like, yes, come here.
So, it's so sweet. I love it. Anyway, my basic thing is I just... I love the community. That's why I'm a part of it. I want everybody to feel that at minimum. And then at maximum, I want to take home gold and win.
Let's go.
So, like, I think there's something for everyone. And I want everybody to, you know, do the best they can with communicating with us about what they're trying to do as a player, and I want to find a spot for you, you know, and I can't give everybody a spot on the team, but I will do everything I can to help you as a person and a player. And, you know, you never know. Like, Justin, to Justin's point, he's a great content creator and a great leader, and he's got experience in different fields to help him with this position. But he's also a great listener, and we have all kinds of things we've talked about, and he's, like, listened to my ideas, and I've listened to his, and we've just started working together business-wise, but I would get in and communicate what you want, and, like, Justin's the type of person to push that and give you as much as he can. We're not going to leave you dry. So I know you would never say that about yourself, but here I am.
Thank you, man.
I'm saying, like, that's the energy, that's the vibes. And, you know, like, I can't promise anything, but I can say that I will promise this. we will always support as best as we can and do what we can. And
Yes.
You just need to stick around and figure out and see how that works. You know, it may not be perfect to your expectations or something, but it might be pretty dang close because we're gonna do our best.
That's
for
100%
for sure.
actual
For sure.
factuals, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for saying that. And
Yeah.
my closing comments, man, is thank you, Lex, for saying what you just said is really humbling and inspiring and encouraging for me because, bro, y'all don't understand, man. I do so much for this, man. Like I believe in it so much, and my wife will tell you, man, and Miss Weeks will tell you, my boy Exodus will tell you, 50 will tell you, TJ. People who know me know, man. Like I do a lot in this. I'm like yesterday I had to.
Stay busy.
I was editing the website, preparing for the signups. I did all that. I designed my website. I freaking made all the graphics that you see. I made all this that you see in here. Like I designed all of that. The apparel stuff. Like I put together. And a buddy of mine helped me with the rebrand logo. I will say that my buddy, who's a part of our team now. But you led that. You know, I did. It wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for what you're doing. And I think all the designs are great. And I think what you're doing is like top level. You know, we're not just trying to throw anything out there. And you stay busy, and you stay busy for a reason. You're passionate, and you're doing a great job. Thank you, man.
And I'm excited to see where it goes. I feel fortunate to like come in and sneak in early on this because I see where it's headed, you know, and I'm ready to push that. I am.
Let's go, man. And I just, again, man, thank you for all your hard work and help over the past month-ish or whatever it's been. Yeah. And you just being a persistent person who's been like, hey, showing up in my DMs and being like, texting me and being like, man, making yourself available. That's something that I've always tried to do for other people, and it's very rare that I find people that'll do it for me. Which is, I'm making myself available because I believe in this and I want to be a part of it. And for you to do that, and for you to do that amidst of you being married with 2 kids and me doing it with my marriage of 11 years with 3 kids, I'm like, bro, thank you. Thank you for matching that energy and even sometimes overdoing, which is great because I want to know that you're adamant about and passionate about it because it helps me stay on it, right? And I need that in my life. So thank you for all that you do, man. Appreciate you greatly, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let me
Q&A time.
Yeah, let me see. Where's I'm waiting for the Q&As right now. Where they at? Everybody put them in the chat.
Cheddar earlier mentioned something. If he's still here, he can re-enter. He mentioned something about being an individual sponsored player while playing on another team or org.
What did he say?
It's somewhere in the chat. But it was something of the nature of like, can I be a sponsored player while being on like another team that's not the POWERUP team? And my initial response to that really is you should do the tryouts and see how we do and talk to us. But you can't be on another team and be sponsored by.
I mean, we want but I say we want dedicated players for sure that aren't like on halfway in, halfway out. We want all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You'll be in our org.
Because the thing is I'm going to be willing to give you my everything, so why shouldn't you?
Sure.
That's the way I look at it. Let me see. Crimson said, you guys got something so amazing coming all's way. This is going to grow and become something huge. This is the start of a new beginning. Let's go, bro. I appreciate that, man. Glad to have you alongside of us, Crimson. I'm looking forward to having you on the tryouts, bro. I seen you put the tryout in there, man. Let's go. Mike said, I brought up the 2 rosters to Lex. It's a phenomenal idea, right? Yeah, man.
He helped me with some of the ideas. I like
nice.
His energy around it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, Mike. Let's go. We just have so much going on right now. So many directions. Okay. Let me see. Cam said, how will tryouts be done? Good question. Here's the thing. 2 things. 1, this is our very first ever tryouts for any team in esports. First one. And we've already reached, let me just double check before I say this, because that number's probably changed since I've last looked. Nope. I think we're still at about 28 people right now. So we're at about 28 people, and that's not including Lex and probably like a couple other people that are in the community that are still not signed up yet. But so I would say we're right at about 30 people or 31-ish, and we're still a week away, almost, like less than a week. But still, like I'm pretty much guessing at this point that we're gonna have at least maybe 40 sign up, which is gonna be amazing. And here's what I'll say. If we have 30, 40 people showing up, right? That's technically because each lobby is 16. So 16, that's 31, 32. Yeah, 32. So we'd have 2 lobbies and then probably have another group of people that'll maybe have to rotate out, which is what we may have to do. Or we have 3 lobbies running at the same time. And what we're going to do is Lex is obviously playing in one lobby the whole night. I'm going to be spectating in a lobby all night. And so will probably Exodus. Exodus said he would do one. He would chime in, and if we needed him to be in a lobby to spectate, he could do that. So we will have some of our leadership team spectating, right? Some of the people within the core POWERUP team in spectating, right? And we're going to have Miss Weeks is actually going to be involved to where all of us, Lex, myself, and probably Exodus, we're all going to end up sending results of each match to Miss Weeks. And Miss Weeks is actually going to have a spreadsheet with everybody's data on it. So we can literally look at it analytically and be like, yo, we know everything about every player from this tryout. Like we doing it up. So
I would say this. So for me, like as the recruitment manager or whatever, yes, we will be running 8s, but I've already been in like a good number of streams and talking to a bunch of people through the DMs about, you know, their vision, and I've seen their gameplay, you know, while they're streaming. I've seen how they communicate on comms. I've seen their play style. I know some people are like team of 2s that want to stick with their duo and still represent POWERUP.
Sure.
We're taking that into consideration.
Okay.
There's free agents. There's some people who have like a team of 3 that, you know, maybe want to plug in and all that. And so we've got some flexibility with all that. But I actually want to see like how people mesh with each other, and I kind of have a feel over who I want to pair up. So the signups are important in that consideration. So please sign up. But also like, you know, holler at your boy and we can talk. Like, it's not like the 8s are the only thing that we're going to judge you by. Like I am not a private investigator, but like,
right.
I've got time, you know? So I've been in people's streams. I've been checking out some people's Twitters, their game clips, what they think is like, you know, them killing it to the max, them going off, you know, and like their expectations for their own gameplay, their comms, etc. So yeah, we'll be running 8s, obviously. But there's more to that, and I especially, you know, am taking into consideration like all the stuff outside of the 8s for sure.
Yeah, and I will say too, man, like to I think Mike's point is that he said the real issue, it's really how teams mesh. It's not about stats. I mean, I agree, but when we
mentioned peer review too.
What's that?
We talked about this earlier, but outside of the stats, we also want to see who gels with who.
Right.
So we're gonna do reviews with
all
players,
of the data.
And so I want to do like a peer review of like, hey, who had the best shot to you? Like, who outgunned you and you just hated seeing them in an open alley, like, or anything like that? Like, who had the best comms? Who had the worst comms? Who had like the worst energy? Who had the best energy? Who did you just like how they pushed and where they pushed and their positioning? And like who you gelled with. And if we see people we want to represent the brand,
yeah,
and you also are clicking with them and you're like, man, you know, if this POWERUP thing doesn't work out, I'd still want to team with them. I want to see that energy so I can be like, oh, word, well, just come on the team then, and then we'll just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's important. So we're going to have player feedback, And, you know, and if you find some friends along the way, and even if you don't play for Power Up, but you're like, man, like, I found my new duo, like, power to you, bro. Like, come on down, you know? Like, I think that's awesome. So I actually think this is a huge network opportunity for players in general to see who's looking for a team. You can try them out yourself. And hopefully, you know, we find the right squad for Power Up along the way. If you're on that, great. If you're not, stick around for the community games and whatnot. And maybe you find a team that you like, you know. There's all kinds of possibilities with that.
No, 100%. 1,000%. And Cam just said, as far as tourneys go, with that final roster you will have, is it fair to say that the players find small tourneys to get a vibe and see how things will go, or would that fall under management? Is it fair to say that the players find small tourneys to get a vibe? So what the goal is that once we do get the final roster of the 8 people, right? Once we make the 8-man roster, the teams are going to kind of we're going to let the 8 players kind of intermingle, figure out who they work well with, who they don't, and maybe just figure out the best situation for 2 teams. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put those 2 teams into action online. This team is going to go compete in this online tournament this weekend. This team is going to go compete in this online tournament this weekend, or like the same weekend where there's 2 tournaments. We'll put Power Up over here and put Power Up over here. And everybody's just going to go. And obviously, as many tournaments and things we can get our hands on, we're going to get our hands dirty on, right? That's what we want to be able to do. However, what we won't do is we're not going to be going to Anaheim. So don't, like, if anybody's going to ask about Anaheim, we're not doing Anaheim. And here's why. We're not doing Anaheim because we're not ready. We have a lot of work to do. You guys may feel individually ready, or you feel like you could do really well, but like we got time. I don't feel confident in literally placing a team to go to Anaheim this close to Anaheim, right? It's like a month away, month and a half, something like that. It's February something. And my thing is Anaheim, like, we need to get that chemistry part figured out really well. And to be honest, I don't want the organization is not going to pay an HCS, because I paid for, you know what I'm saying, our team to go to the Raleigh one. And when we went, I went and told the team beforehand. I said, look, we're going as a stream kind of community team. We're going as a for fun team. We're here to represent the brand and go network and meet people. And just let people start seeing the emblem. Let them start seeing the logo. Let them start seeing our faces a little bit. Let them see my face. Let them meet some people. You know what I'm saying? And we did that. We did some cool things out there. You know what I mean? I was interviewed on the floor by freaking people out there from Microsoft and 343 and all this stuff. It was crazy. So I got some things happen, okay? But what I'm saying is I don't want us to spend $300 or $400, $500 on a team pass to go when I'm not seeing results off of easy online tournaments. So basically, y'all got to go in on these free online tournaments, and then some of these like cheaper online tournaments where we're paying $50 to maybe $100 to get in, or like $50 for a whole team to go. I'm like, okay, you guys want some like little or smaller stuff. Now I'll put $50 on it.
What comes to mind for me is there's free Halo agent tourneys happening all the time. There's some 4v4, some 2v2 and all that stuff, but also there's the ACS Open Series, or I may be butchering the name, but the online AM qualifiers where you can get ACS points, you know, like that will tell us some stuff. I mean, that will be your literal competition will be there, you know, so like that'll tell us how the team's doing, if you're feeling good or bad after that sort of thing. So I as team manager or whatever title you want to throw on me, like I want to have a schedule every week of like, hey, like we have scrims this day, and then we have like film review this day with along with like running other scrims, and then we have scrims this day, and then we have a tournament this day, and then we're going to review that tournament footage this day, and then we're going to have like, you know, like I would just want to schedule it out so you know what to expect, and then you can also communicate as a player if you can't make those expectations and we need to sub somebody in or work something out there. So it's not just going to be like this free for all where it's like, yo, bro, my dudes are on all the time. Like we're just, you know, we're just gaming hard. Like we need to grow. We need to do film. We need to do scheduled scrims. We need to do scheduled time to like work on our chemistry and like do things right. And that's my vision for it as a player myself, team captain, or whatever you want to throw out there. Like we're gonna do this right, you know. And
yeah,
that's the vibe.
That's good, man. Absolutely. We'll take like one or two more, and then we gotta get ready to open up these custom lobbies so we can get sweaty.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, it's my fault. I had to use the toiletries earlier, and it wrecked me. I blame it on my wife, bro. She made breakfast for dinner, and it put me out of commission.
Oh no.
Yeah, bro. It was no bueno.
Yeah.
Too much TMI, right, chat? TMI.
I think the biggest thing as far as Q&A is concerned, even if I haven't seen it yet, is just communication with me and Justin about what you expect and what you're looking at. That's a big deal. And then even if you're like a team of 2 or a team of 3 and you're looking to plug into the community, we want to know that. Because if I have somebody I'm gelling with, and so I've got my team of 2, and then when I can get locked in with another team of 2, and we just happen to really hit it off, you know, there's something to that, and I would want to know that. So if I don't know that, and we run into tryouts, and you're like, "Where's my duo at? I can't be without blah blah blah." You know, that's a thing. You know, so application, communication, and transparency. You know, don't kid yourself and don't kid us. Let's be upfront about everything so we can make it work. You know, and that's the big deal there.
That's a fact, man. Well, I summed up my Halo career very briefly. Oh, nice, Mike.
Mike's got this whole.
Yo, no, I'm glad he said he put his application in for the tryouts, man. Let's go. Put the submission. Let's go. Guys, thank you guys. I seen one more question a second ago. I think it was from Mike. He said, "Word, who is all signed up?" A lot of different people have signed up for the tryouts, but as far as the only people on the actual team, it's Lex. Lex is the only one with a solidified spot on the team.
I made it, baby.
Okay, he is on there. He is definitely going to be on. All right. Other than that, there's 7 different slots available right now that you guys will be trying out for. So, and again, we want you guys to be a part of this community, not just for the tryouts, but be a part of it outside of that, man. And we would hope that you would stick around, find some other players to play with, and just grow with, and be with this community and this org as it grows, because trust me, player positions and things will change, and you may have yourself a slot later in the future. So
I would love for low-key, I would love for Exodus to have a bunch of friends he runs with all the time. You know, like if he's not trying out, you know, like he's all the time and he's grinding and wants to become great, you know, but if he finds like 3 friends, you know, that he's grinding with all the time and they tackle some online tourneys, that would just make my life, you know. So
that's great.
Cam, I wouldn't mind doing Money 8s, Cam. We'll talk about that when it comes, you know.
Not tonight.
We'll talk about it when it comes. Tonight. Not tonight.
No.
But the teams and stuff, we might throw down with somebody else.
That's funny. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this thing on out. I got to end this stream, but I'll start a new one here in a minute. Okay. And because I have to restart it so I can have my camera back for stream, because the way I have this whole thing going through Discord
I'll get the lobby running.
Yeah.
Hit me up. My gamer tag is, I'm going to type it in the chat.
Yeah.
It's with the 3, so it's different. Make sure I got my spelling right.
I play with my heart, not my wallet. Facts, Jacob. That's me.
Yeah.
I feel that. But yo, man.
Well,
what you about to say?
Yeah. Well, like Money 8s are definitely cool and all that with money on the line, but like, you know, also putting your own money on the line for like a Halo Agent tourney or any sort of like online buy-in tourney where you could win the money back. You know, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got all that. So.
That's dope. Well, you guys can hang out in the chat for a few minutes. That's fine. Y'all hang out in the chat, talk, chill. And I'm gonna restart. You guys will see the stream pop back up here on YouTube here in a minute. Again, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Lex, thank you for your time tonight, bro.
Yes,
this live discussion was awesome. Let us know on the VOD, on the playback, and also just let us know how you thought about this. What you thought about this? Were you guys interested in seeing more of this? Because truth be told, once the players do get situated and the roster happens, we are going to end up having some interviews with the players that make the team. Similar to how you're seeing this.
Yeah.
we're going to interview and we're going to talk about just you and just give you a chance to shine and have a moment to talk. So I think it's going to be really good for the community. Again, it's exposure for you. It's your journey. And then we want to be able to kind of locate that and narrate that as best as possible as you grow as a player and in this esports Halo League. So I'm really excited about it, man. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate all the interactiveness in the chat.
Love.
Sorry if we missed anything, but we're trying to keep this thing.
Yeah, if you think of anything, hit my DMs on Twitter, wherever.
Yep.
And I'll be chatting, you know.
Yeah, hit up Lex for sure. To any questions as far as Halo goes, be sure to reach out to him. And you know, I'm available as much as I can try to be available, but definitely Lex is
hit me up.
Lex is the Halo manager. Yeah, he's the kind of guy we want to make sure. Yeah. And if he can't answer it, he'll come to me, I guess. So that helps out. So love you guys, man. Power yourself up, power up those around you, and go out into the world to make a difference. That is what this whole channel is about. I love you guys, man. Talk to y'all in a few minutes when I fire this thing back up. Peace.
Peace, y'all. See ya. We offline?